Hello everyone and welcome to this lesson on understanding Power BI user journeys. Before we jump into all the juicy things that I have to talk about user journeys, I just want to give you a little bit of a summary of what we discussed in the previous module and how it all fits into this one. As you probably remember, this is still part of the requirements gathering phase that we should all go through before we touch anything in Power BI. Before we build any chart, any visualization, we should not skip the requirements gathering phase because it is crucial for us to be able to create great user experiences with our reports and add that data storytelling element to it. But anyway, during the first stage of the requirements gathering, which was the previous module, we talked about things like determining the business goals and pain points, identifying the audience that is going to use your report and the different type of personas, the report types, and finally, we talked about gathering the UI requirements for our reports. During this module, I also talked about the main questions that you should be asking during the first stage of the requirements gathering, and in the next module we will also be discussing the requirements gathering framework in a little bit more detail with our use case with our use case, which will glue everything together. The reason I left user journeys for the end is because for you to define the user journeys, you need to do these three key things in the first stage of the requirements gathering first. If you skip the first stage of the requirements gathering, believe me, you won't be able to guide the conversation when you reach the point of user journeys. And again, I will emphasize this. It's very, very important that you go through the reporting requirements and take your time doing it well. So what are user journeys? A user journey is like a map of all the steps a user will take when they're using your report. Let me give you a little example. Let's say you're planning a road trip. Your goal is to go from point A to point B, right? A user journey for that road trip would map out all the different steps you take, like checking your route on Google Maps, filling up your gas tank, stopping for food, and so on. It would also uncover any problems or challenges you might find along the way, like traffic or maybe roads that are not in the best condition. Adapting this concept to Power BI, a user journey maps out all the different steps that a user will take from the moment they open the report until the moment they leave that report. The whole point of the user journey in Power BI is to understand how users are going to use your report and interact your report, and what their experiences is going to be like. And once we know that, we can create or design the best report for them and make changes and improvements to make their experience even better. But I know you're looking at this slide and thinking, okay, but what is point A and point B in Power BI? How do we know that? So let's think about this logically and also using the example that I gave you before. So let's talk about that road trip again. Let's say that for that road trip, you were going from Germany to Spain. So your point A is Germany and your point B is Spain, right? Which is your starting point, again, and your destination. So now we need to translate this into analytics or reporting, which I know might not sound like the easiest thing in the world to do, but bear with me. Let's think about Power BI for a second now. What is point A in Power BI? Where does the journey of your user starts? The journey of your user starts in the moment they open the report, right? And when they open that report, the first thing they will want to look at is insights, because they are looking at a report and not taking a road trip through Europe, right? And what do they want to do with those insights? They will make decisions and take actions over those insights, or at least in theory, that's what should happen and that's what they should do. For me, it would look like something like this. So your point A is our report, or let's say the first page of our report, the landing page. You will always need to have a landing page. It might have like a home page style or a normal report page with charts and visuals and insights and all of that, but you will always have a starting point for your reports, and the starting point is always the page the user first sees when they open your report. The destination of your journey in Power BI will be actions. And what do I mean with actions? So what I mean with actions is whenever you have a report, you build that report with a specific goal in mind. Like we discussed before, in the first stage of the requirements gathering, you're either trying to save time or improve a process, give visibility over that process. You are trying to achieve something with this report. And usually that translates into some kind of action that you're going to take based on that report, on top of that report. So imagine that as an example. We have a sales report, and the sales report was built so that the sales team could have visibility over their results in different countries or regions. But for me, the goal of a report is never just to give visibility over something. If your users are not taking any kind of actions or are not thinking in using the report to take any kind of actions, then I'm not sure that that reporting solution is actually useful for the business. Let's think about our sales report once more. Even if your initial purpose was to build something to purely give visibility over the sales process, you still need to understand what is important in that sales process and for that sales team. You need to know how the users are going to be using that report, what kind of insights they need, and what kind of actions or business decisions could be taken or could be driven based on those insights and in that report. Because I'm pretty sure that that team, if they see that one of the regions is not performing as well, they will be making some decisions. They will be thinking about how can we improve these figures. Maybe they will come up with a new sales plan for that country or region, or maybe they will just close stores on that region because it's not profitable anymore. So you see, in theory, from every insight, there will be a decision or an action. Every figure that you show in your report, every chart, will be a piece of that user journey, and it will ultimately lead to users taking actions or decisions at the end of that journey. So every insight should drive some kind of decision. And to summarize, our point A, or user journey starting point, will be the first page that our users are going to see, and our point B, or our user journey destination, will be the actions and decisions that the users will take based on the insights that we gave them in that report. What we need to figure out now is how do we build this report so that we give our users the insights they need, while also creating a good experience by making your report user-friendly, easy to use, easy to understand, and so on. And for us to be able to provide this valuable report for our users, we need to understand the journey that they are going to take from the moment they open the report, this moment, until they leave that report. By the time they leave that report, or they leave your reports, you need to make sure that they got the insights they need to make their business decisions and take their actions. It needs to drive action. By defining the user journeys for your reporting solution, you will be able to guide business stakeholders a lot better in the requirements gathering process. You will foster a user-centric mentality because you are really putting the user at the center of the report design and user experience process. And also, you will uncover blind spots that you probably wouldn't uncover any other way, even if you've done your requirements gathering, like the first stage, very, very well. Once more, the reason we define user journeys is because we really want to understand our users' needs. It is because we want our report to have the insights those users need, and we want the consumption of those insights to be as easy and effective as possible. User journeys will guarantee that your report will have a great user experience and that your report will be effective and widely adopted because you're guaranteeing that you're showing the right insights in the right format. I also want to talk about how user journeys and data storytelling relate, because I think data storytelling is one of those buzzwords that we see everywhere today. And I think that for some applications like reporting, nobody really knows exactly what that means. And a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about it. I have my own opinion. So in theory, data storytelling is the art of telling stories with your data, right? But what does that mean exactly? Especially in reporting, how do you exactly tell a story with your data, with your report? Well, I think you can't really tell a story unless you know the journey for that story. You know the beginning, the middle, and the end. So The journey is basically the story for me. For you to understand the story that you are going to tell in your report, you need to understand the journey that your users are going to take when they're using your report. We already know that the start of the user journey is kind of opening the report itself, but then we need to figure out what does the user do after that? What is the next step? If you have a home page which contains no insights or data, what is your end user going to do? Which page are they going to open first? And then, when they have that page open, what are the main figures, charts, or KPIs that they are going to look at first? And from there, imagine we are looking at the sales over time versus target. Because it's one of the first things that the sales team is going to look at when they open the report. Once you see that the sales are not on target, what are you going to do or what are you going to look at next? So we need to understand the process or the thought process that users are going to take when they are exploring your report, and we need to make sure that we answer as many questions that they might have as possible. And I know that for some of you, this might seem like a lot of work that you need to have, but believe me, it is worth it. Now let's jump to the next lesson, where I'm going to explain how you can create user journeys for reporting. And if you're finding these concepts or this concept of user journeys still a bit confusing, I think that in the next lesson everything will become a lot clearer for you, so I'll see you there.